In our early years, I lived at 2101 Longfellow Street there in Austin with my mother and daddy and my brother. And my family was a motorcycle family. My daddy had a big Harley 74 cubic inch motorcycle that he got right after the war. And I remember being placed upon it as a child, and later, years later, would ride between my daddy and the gas tank. And my daddy would let me occasionally grab a hold of the throttle and operate that. Well, we lived on an old street that wasn't paved. It was a gravel street. And I remember vividly one time going down Old Longfellow Street going north and coming to a four-way intersection. And of course, many of you probably don't know, but in the days of gravel streets, right in the middle of a four-way street, the gravel would always kind of pile up right there in the center. And it made for a little sachet, so to speak, when you went through it with the motorcycle, especially the front wheel. Well, it turns out that on this particular day, Daddy let me operate the throttle. And remember, I don't know, couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 years old. And so when I got right in the middle of that four-way street, I knew about that gravel being there. So I goosed that old Harley 74 with that throttle. And with that, it had made a sachet. The rear tire spun, of course, kicking that gravel out. And it kind of did a little S-turn, I guess you'd say, kind of a sachet back and forth. And of course, it was over with in just seconds. But I can tell you, my daddy did not like that. And I don't remember if I got a spanking or not when we came in, but I know he was not pleased. And I was taught not to ever do that again. So that's just one of the tales of the old Longfellow house and the motorcycles. My brother also had an old homemade homebrew motor scooter that my dad had made some kind of way, or maybe one of his friends did or something. Kind of like one of the old Cushman motor scooters, and he would ride that around. Later years, he got a Harley Davidson 125 motorcycle. My mother had one too. I think we had two of them, and they would ride off on those motorcycles. And Later on, Daddy got a Indian Scout motorcycle. And I don't know if it was the little Harley Davidson 125 or the Indian Scout, probably the 125, that my girl cousin, Linda Taylor, came over one time. I'm sure Mother and Daddy were there too. And so she got on the back of that motorcycle with my brother, and they went off to ride around the block or whatever. Again, a gravel street, and they didn't go but just about 25 or 30 feet, and my girl cousin Linda, barefooted and probably with shorts on, got her ankle caught in that no, wait a minute. That's another story. That I got my ankle caught in that motorcycle. The story of my girl cousin is they had gone off on the motorcycle, went just a little ways and stopped some kind of way, and the motorcycle topped over and burnt her leg. Pretty good little burn, the hot muffler or exhaust pipe. Maybe it was the cylinder head or whatever. But I remember that vividly. So, Linda, I'm going to send this to you and see if you remember that. Well, I'll close for now on the motorcycle escapades. Thank you very much for listening.